So as of December 2023, the private sector had employed 75% more persons with disabilities as a proportion of the total employment compared to the public sector. I understand the Minister said that it's not meaningful to compare. I'd just like for more clarification on why he thinks that it's not meaningful, apart from the fact that the SAF and the home team may not be able to hire as many people with disabilities in combat positions. As the largest employer in Singapore, does the Minister agree that the government bears a greater responsibility to set a positive hiring example in inclusive hiring? Ideally, the public sector should lead the hiring of PWDs rather than lagging behind. Secondly, could the Minister share if there are concrete targets for PWD employment in the public sector over the next 5 years? And if so, what strategies are in place to ensure that these targets are achieved?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have explained already. The nature of jobs in the public sector is quite different from the nature of jobs in the private sectors. For us, it's more important to make sure that instead of counting the number of jobs, is to make every job count. And that is what the public service sector is prepared and is committed to do. We want to make sure that every person with disability employed by the public service sector has a meaningful job based on their capabilities and strengths. And we'll continue to look out for jobs that we can meaningfully employ the people with disabilities to best make use of their talents. We are not here just to meet the numbers, and I think all my agencies are trying their best to make sure that they can convert jobs that are relevant and meaningful for us to hire people with disabilities. And I have said that there are many jobs in the public service sector that are not comparable with the jobs in the private sector, and it's not meaningful for us to make that comparison.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to declare first I'm a volunteer actively helping job centres in inclusive employment. Actually, I want to present another angle. I'm quite excited about the work that's going on in inclusive employment in the public sector. Maybe just to name a few, National Library Board, Vital, GovTech, CPF Board, Ministry, MSF, MOH Holdings, SGH, and also the transport sector. Actually, I think they've done quite a bit in inclusive hiring, sometimes not allowing us in the charity sector to give up even. So I think the average kind of rate does not reflect some of the very good work that's done. And I think there are also critical success factors that I hope the Minister will agree with me that we can learn from. Number one is really top leadership engagement and support, middle management focus, job design, equipping the colleagues and encouraging those on the ground. So quite a bit of critical success factors. So I'd like to ask the Minister if he would consider, forming even a small task force for those who are actually passionate about this in the public sector to really suss out all the critical success factors and in fact position the public sector strongly as a leader in inclusive employment. I think there's a lot of room there, and actually I'm very encouraged by the hiring so far.
Minister Chan.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I completely agree with Ms. Denise Phua. Indeed, we have groups of civil servants who are passionate about this, and they go about doing their work quietly to make sure that jobs that can be converted or even modified to take in people with disabilities, we have done so and will continue to do so. But as I've mentioned, the nature of the jobs are quite different, so we should not set artificial targets, or we should not do what we call tokenism just to meet targets. We want to make sure that every job counts rather than count every job. It is important for us that we employ people with disabilities to give them meaningful work rather than just to meet any numerical targets. And as what Ms. Denise Phua has mentioned, it is important that we continue this journey, not only with top-level management attention on this, but it also requires every one of us who is working in the sector to make accommodations and adjustments so that we can bring out the best in everyone, including people with disabilities, and we'll continue to do so.